What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of PTSD. I was not here last week because I had some business to take care of, but now I'm back this Sunday. And my uncle was scrolling through some videos, and he found one with an interesting topic. So we decided to make that topic for today's show. And the question is, or the topic is, do women make good leaders? And it was funny because the video that he found, in the video, it was a black man asking a black woman that, and the black woman said, like, hell no, that women don't make good leaders, and she gave her answer why. So I'm gonna get everybody's take on it, on that question, and then I guess I'll be the last to answer. So I don't know which one y'all want to go first. We'll start with Dre.
Dre, what's your take on it? Should woman fit to be leaders?
In my opinion, no. And then, like, if you watch the video, the woman even kind of explains in depth as to why women shouldn't be leaders. Because simply, for one, they don't really want to be leaders. As she was saying, these are not my words, but she was typically saying that women, they typically just want the idea of basically getting the benefits of being a leader, meaning like you can have a control and having certain power in certain areas. But they don't have the capability to understand what it means to be a leader in as far as like how men look at it, as far as like responsibilities and taking accountability for certain things. And I believe being a leader is a part of it where you have to take accountability on a lot of things because everything rests on your shoulder. So if you, as a woman by yourself, can't take accountability for certain small things that you do in life, how can you take accountability for the big things and certain things that don't go right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the big reason to me as to why women can't be leaders, because they just don't really know how to take accountability for certain things. So that's just in simplest words. That's it for me. Like that's what I see it.
All right. This is on me. So my personal opinion, no, they can't be leaders. Because it's like what Dre said, they can't take accountability. And another reason is they don't want the entire microscope of the world looking at them when something falls on them. So what I mean by that is if it's a huge problem, because when you're a leader, that means you are leading other people. You're actually representing these people when you're a leader. And when something hits the fan, they're not looking at anybody else but you for a solution. So with that coming said, women don't want that. And it's like what he said in the video, who sent the video, they want the what word am I looking for? The benefits. They want the benefits of being a leader. So look at me. I could tell you what to do. Don't go do this, go do that. But when something hit the fan, they looking at you like we weren't supposed to do that. And then they blame other people for their mistake. So that's why women, to me, in my opinion, aren't fit to be leaders, because they don't want to handle the smoke. Just to be in those particular words. They don't want to handle the smoke. They don't want the pressure on them of being a leader, because they don't have it in them. You know, to me, being a leader means that you have to sacrifice. You have to take other people into consideration, and you also have to think about the greater good. You have to think about the bigger picture, not just yourself. And with that, I'm sad to say, but most women don't think about the bigger picture. They don't think about, the long run. They don't think about the long game. They just think about themselves. Me. And that's the issue. So that's exactly why women, in my opinion, they're not fit to be leaders, because they me. They think about me, and they don't think about the grand scale. They don't take other people in consideration. They take their benefits into consideration. So that's why they can't be leaders. It's just plain and simple.
I'll go Pico because I'm going to go last.
Okay, you ready?
I'll go ahead.
All right, Tone, let's hear your outtake on this.
All right. So, I mean, of course, as I constantly be saying forever, no, women will not make good leaders because they're emotional creatures. And by them being emotional, they react instead of think. So based off of what situation you're in, you got to use your brain to come up with the best solution possible. And when you're emotional and your feelings are all in a bunch, you react instead of think. And then when you do the whatever action that you take, when you look back on it in hindsight, it's too late because the damage has been done already. Right. So women, they don't think, they don't use their brain, they don't think with logic. They just get mad and be like, oh, and then they do stuff. And then when it's too late, even if they think about it after the fact, the damage has been done already. So, but when you use your brain, you can make sound decisions so you won't react emotionally. You just react with your brain. Now, you can get hit emotionally because we all human. Like something can hurt you or hit you, but then once that settle in, you got to be like, okay, what's the best way to get out of this problem? But women usually don't do that. They just do what's in the moment, and then they be thinking about they think about it after, they think about the consequences after it has happened already. So now they're like, so after the damage has been done, they can't push a rewind button and go back because they already acted in the moment because they didn't think. Had they thought previously, they wouldn't be in the situation they in now based off a reaction in the moment. So, So, and then, of course, to add to my cousin and parts, they points what they were saying earlier. Yeah, when the captain goes down with the ship, and women want the attention, and I always say this, it always go back to attention. Women want to be worshipped, they want to be glorified, they want to be praised, and being a leader comes with that, especially if you're a righteous leader. So if you're a righteous leader and you get praise, women like the praise, because remember, outside of leadership, women want praise, period. So it's on steroids when it's with a leader, Roy. I mean, with a leader. A leader role.
Position.
Yeah, with a leader role. I meant to say a leader role. With a leader role, it's on steroids because outside of a leader role and them just dressing up for the attention of man, the validation of man, makeup and everything, they're doing it. That's all validation and that's all attention. So if they doing that on a smaller scale, you can imagine the praise they would get if they was a leader and they actually did good and all the glory and praise they would get. So it's all about attention. So they only want the positive parts of it. But when the ship breaks down, she's not a maintenance man to fix the ship. Right. So she's gonna blame everybody else rather than her fixing the ship, even though she's supposed to be in charge of the ship. But men, we have to take that role. Of course, like I said, if the guy's a righteous leader, he gets the praise. But when stuff go to hell and everything go downhill, it's his job to fix it too. Right. And the man understands he has to bear that responsibility and carry that burden on his back of fixing that problem. And a lot of women don't want that. They don't want the burden of fixing a problem, but they like to be able to control and be like, do this. They like to be able to delegate stuff to people. You know what I mean? They want to give out positions, be like, you need to do this, you need to do that. It sounds good telling people what they need to do, but when those people perform those actions and everything go wrong, you have to take the responsibility for that. And since women don't like taking accountability for regular things, you can imagine on a big position like such as a leader, they'll blame everybody but themselves. But they're the first ones always claiming to be in the front row, talking about, yeah, I'm the boss, I'm this, that. And it's funny because between men and women, you don't hear guys going around talking about, I'm a boss nigga. You always hear a girl say, I'm a boss nigga. You know what I'm saying? You will always hear a woman say she's a boss this, boss that. Guys don't go around saying, I'm a boss nigga. Yeah, pick me, I'm a boss nigga. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But like women in general, usually when they make a little bit of money, and they're not even a boss or a CEO of anything, they think just because they're making good money that they're a boss now just because their paycheck is big.
And the only time you really get guys that do that, that's like the F boys. Like
right, exactly. For the ones that do that,
and they're really not the boss type. And like the people that's running like corporations and stuff like that, they don't talk like that.
Exactly.
So when the women sit there and say stuff like that, it's like you really just trying to you basically putting a false narrative like you actually somebody and you really not. Exactly. A boss is somebody that really walks into the room and they, people can tell that that's a boss.
Yeah, they aura commands the respect.
Right, they command the respect without even having to say a word. So it's like if you over here complaining, or no, not complaining, but if you going around saying I'm this and I'm that, you just really showing everybody you really ain't that, because you just gotta announce it to me. If I would know it just off telling you, and I'm not just telling you, but if I would know it by you walking into the room and I can tell by just your actions and how you your mannerisms.
I mean, you don't have to say nothing.
Yeah, you don't have to say nothing.
Exactly.
So a boss is somebody that wouldn't really have to, announce his presence. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, and I also wanted to add, what makes a leader is it's just the humbleness he has. So, and like I actually agree with what he said in the video. He said a real leader. I don't remember. He said a real man or a real leader. He said a real leader actually blames himself. Even though,
oh, that's what the girl was saying.
Yeah, even though, exactly.
She
that's
said
what
blame themselves even when it ain't his fault.
Even when it ain't his fault, he's still gonna blame himself. He's still gonna be like, "That's on me. That's on me." And then he could have 1,000 people tell him, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault." It's in him to be like, "I feel like it is because I'm the leader, and I should have done. Maybe I should have done this right. Maybe I should have did this a different way." So it's that's what makes a real leader. Is just when the leader takes accountability, and he's like, even though it's not his fault, even though I would even say, even if the outcome was great, the leader would be like, I should have did that better, or I should have did it a better way. You know what I mean? And I actually agree with that. It's just, I think what it takes to be a leader is you have to be able to make split second decisions just like that to be a leader. Cause ain't no time for dilly dally. Ain't no time for, I feel like, no, ain't no time for that. Like this is survival basically when it's becoming a leader. People, like I said earlier, people are looking up to you. So you have to be able to make split second decisions and everything.
And
Not
sound
saying,
decisions.
yeah, not saying that women don't make split second decisions because you got medical fields and everything they do. But when it's like a leader role, and they just have this feeling like everybody's looking at me. I don't like that. I want the benefits of the leader, but I don't want to be responsible. That's the thing. That's when it becomes a problem. It's like, well, you the leader. You and then it's actually worse when they ask for it, when they demand the position. And then when they get the position, something happens and they're just like, I don't want the position no more. No, you asked for it. You asked for this position. Now you have to accept the benefits.
What comes with it?
And you have to accept the consequences of being a leader, because it's just not all benefits with being a leader. It's consequences as well. So,
and it's not to sit there and say that all men are leaders too.
No,
we're not saying that all men are leaders,
either.
but we're saying that men have the innate capability to become great leaders, basically, compared to like what women are. You know what I'm saying? So we have the way we think in our thought process. It's totally different from how women think of certain things and how they go about executing certain things. So when we think of stuff, we're looking for different possibilities, or sometimes we're just, how can I put it? We just look for things that, I don't even know how to put it. We just have a way of thinking that's just totally different from how women think. So I think we have a logical way of thinking certain things. So we don't always put, like, sometimes a decision may be to a point where it's not like, it could lead to something where it's not the best decision, but we're willing to take more of a risk to do it in order to get the job done, basically.
Or if it is the best decision and the people the people that you're leading don't agree with it, but they don't understand the bigger picture. So they may think it's bad, but then when they see the end result, they gonna be like, oh damn, okay. It looked crazy, but I see what you know what I'm saying?
So they got that gut feeling.
Yeah, a leader got a gut feeling like, even, okay, I'm gonna go with the unpopular opinion, but little do they know this unpopular opinion is what's gonna save us.
Exactly.
But by them looking at it in the now, they think I'm crazy for doing this, but they don't know that I see the bigger picture. And when we survive in the end, they gonna see that, okay, now I get why he did it. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, even if you put it into something more common with people, like in the video, she was talking about like relationships and stuff like that. Like I was saying in the beginning, most women don't really want to be leaders in a relationship. They claim that they want that because of the position of power that they get, but at the same time, you don't respect somebody that you have to walk all over. And being a leader is not necessarily walking all over somebody, but you're taking the big decisions in that relationship, in that partnership. So if women are talking about being leaders, you have to also understand that, okay, if you get into a relationship with somebody, are you willing to keep that same that same responsibility throughout the whole relationship? And that's what a lot of women fall off at, because they'll sit there and get with somebody that, what they feel like they're leading a relationship. And then when somebody else come in the picture and he's showing like he moving different, like he ain't your chump boyfriend and stuff like that. So then you sitting there comparing like, dang, I should have got with somebody like him. He doing this and doing that. And I'm with you and you not doing nothing. So it's like you have to look at how your nature is too. I think a lot of women forget their own nature at times, and they don't really know themselves as well as they think they do. So a lot of times they'll say certain things and it goes against their own nature. So it's like when you say certain things, you have to understand what type of woman you are at the same time. And not even just the type of woman you are, you have to understand what you are as a woman. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to understand that at the same time as you're speaking those things.
and I gotta add something to that, but we're gonna let Pico go. What people don't understand is, man, this, women is just, I just gotta shake my head because a lot of y'all don't make sense. In order to be a leader, you need followers. You can't lead somebody. You can't lead people if those people are not willing to follow you. So women are the main ones that talk about they don't need nobody, but then they crying for leaders. If y'all told us in one breath y'all don't want nobody to lead y'all because y'all independent, how could you then in the same breath cry for a leader? We need leader. Man ain't leaders no more. But when they try to lead, what y'all say, y'all can't tell me what to do. So make it make sense. It don't make sense. Stop crying for leaders, and then when you get one, you be like, oh, he can't tell me what to do, so I'm gonna go the other way. Which one is it? So the man can't be a leader if he don't have nothing to follow him. If you don't have people to follow him. You know what I'm saying? So women, they bark a lot, and like if you just sit back and listen to what women say, you be like, they just hang themselves. Like what they say literally contradicted what they actions is. They like, and remember, this ain't us saying women need to be independent. Women are saying this out of their own mouths, and then in the same breath cry about there's no leaders.
Yeah.
You make sense. That make sense. So you either now, like I said, because you can do the independent thing. If you want the independent, stop crying about leaders because you already made it. You made it up in your mind. You don't want to be told nothing. So rock out with that. Because at least, even though that's still asinine because you need order in the world, I would respect a woman's argument more if they stay to their argument and then contradict what they said. They just like, okay, we mean this, we gonna stay like this. Yeah. I would be like, okay, well, at least I respect it because they going full throttle with it. But they'll say that and then be crying, man, ain't leading no more. You be like, switch up. But y'all are the ones complaining about can't nobody tell y'all nothing. So which is it? Yeah. Can men tell you what to do, or men don't tell us what to do because we're gonna be independent. So whatever problems we have, we don't need y'all to help us. We're gonna do it on our own. Do you know I respect that? I'm like, hey, they gangster. I respect that, but they don't do that.
And I would have respected even more if women, like the women that's sitting there saying that they want to be independent and stuff like that. Then if they're saying that, then don't look for no type of relationship at all. Because that goes against your whole argument that you're saying I'm an independent woman. Thank you. At the same time, so if you're independent, then stay to yourself for the rest of your life.
Exactly, and don't get help from men. Yeah, because if you dog about, that's why I love what Uncle P. I think one of y'all said about the flat tire. I think he said it in the video, or one of y'all. I think the guy said it in the video. Yeah, if the tire is flat, change it yourself. Don't wait and honk the horn or do this signal guys for a man to pull over to help you. Because by you being strong and independent, I would even respect it if you waved and got another woman to do it. Because now that's what? Women sticking together. But y'all want a man to save y'all. Like, think about it. But I'm independent though. But my contractor, I'll take it to that male mechanic over there. If you know what you're doing, you do it. Or get another woman to do it. That's why we was talking about the whole WNBA thing, the women's NBA. Like that's the biggest laugh to me because they dog men, and especially the men in the NBA. But if women are crying out for sticking up for women, you would think women will flood the WNBA games. And remember, statistically, since there's more women than men, WNBA games should be making crazy money because a whole bunch of women, no matter what race, color, or creed, should be there supporting women playing basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
So how is it the man basketball type, the man basketball arena, everybody go there, men and women go to them, but it's supposed to be women empowerment, but no women are going to the basketball games of the women. Yep. No women is supporting the WNBA.
And you know what? That's true because it's like men that don't know. Like, men are willing to help women they don't know more than other women are willing to help women. If you get what I'm saying. It's like that's true. A random dude on the street will be willing to do nice, kind acts for a woman for no reason at all. I won't say for no reason, but
I get what you mean.
You get what I'm saying? But yeah, they're willing to take a chance to help a stranger, a woman, and stuff like that. But then when it comes to another female, you keep making me laugh at that video, that picture. But when it comes to women, y'all don't help each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all sit there and say all these things, but y'all not even banding with y'all own sisters to piggyback what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? Or back up what y'all trying to the lifestyle y'all trying to live. So it's like stop saying something and then your actions speak something totally different.
Man, and y'all just keep adding it. I gotta say something too as well about the what you went back to, Tony. You pointed out a good point. You said women they say they want to be independent. And then be like, well, we need men. Ain't no men leaders. It's like the indecisive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the traits you cannot have while being a leader. Indecisive, you can't be indecisive while you're a leader. You have, like I said earlier, you have to make that split decision, or it's not going to benefit for the entire picture. You can't be like, oh, I don't know. Okay, well, press the button. No, wait, don't press it. No, press it again. Wait, no, don't press it. You can't do that when you're a leader. You have to make those decisions right on top and right at the edge because survival depends on it. So that's all I wanted to say. All right, Dad.
Hear ye. No, I'm just playing. Wow, this is a spicy meatball. Can women be leaders? Sure, they can be. But should they? No. You get what I'm saying? You can be anything you want to be, but just because you can be that don't mean you should be that.
Exactly.
So this always goes back to what I was saying about when you go against the grain, stuff don't work. Sure, you have women in high power. Yeah, they can be. Some women are CEOs of big companies, but it's not a lot. And you can pretty much count them on your hand. But when you want to take the role of being a leader, just like remember Spider-Man, great power comes great responsibility. That's so true, because now the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and by women not being able to take accountability, they don't want that problem. They don't want that smoke. No, man. Just like when the guy said, and this isn't he's not the only one that said this. I mean, I've been saying this for years, and we also say it in movies and stuff. That's actually a true story. The captain goes down with the ship. It's pretty much cut and dry. The captain goes down with the ship. He makes sure everybody's off the ship.
Right.
And if there's one person that's stuck, he's got to risk his life to get that person. Yeah. Even if they both die together, he's got to stay on the ship to get that person. Remember the movie with I forgot the name of the movie. There was the lifeguards. What's the name of that dang on movie? It was the guy that was dating Bruce Willis' ex-wife, Ashton Kutcher, and Superman's father. What's his name?
That sounds familiar.
What's his name?
That's an older movie.
No,
right?
not Russell Crowe. No. And Man of Steel. What's the man's name? They played the bodyguard with Whitney Houston.
Kevin
Kevin Costner.
Costner. Yes.
You ever seen that movie, The Guardian? When he had to die to save people?
Right. Yeah.
It's the same thing. I mean, I didn't go off topic, but women really shouldn't want to be leaders because there's a big responsibility with that. You have to make crazy freaking darn decisions.
Yeah.
That's why we can fight all we want, but you would never have a woman president. The only way a woman president can be active is if the president died and she steps in, and that's going to only be temporary. So, should women be leaders? No, because they're emotional creatures. If women was presidents, the world would probably be done by now because they've been shooting bombs all over the place. I can't stand her. She over in America, send some bombs over there. You have to think rational when it comes to war. You have to think rational when it comes to anything. But as Tony said, well, as all of y'all said, all y'all made great points. That's why I like to let y'all go first, because everybody's on the same track. But leadership, they shouldn't want it because, one, it goes against the grain. That's not the order the Lord set out for us. It's not the order. You've never heard a woman, this isn't a stab at women because y'all know how black women are.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a stab at women, so if y'all think it's a stab at y'all, I'm telling y'all now, it's not. There's rules to everything we do. There's rules to life. There's rules to death. And the rule to living is dying. That's the rule. We all have to go there. You wouldn't go jump in the lake and you can't swim, right? The rule of the water is what? Don't jump in me because I'm not going to save you.
Right.
Exactly.
So you're going to die.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, I'll kill you. That's the rule. That's the laws of water.
Yeah.
That's the laws of anything. Skin, anything. You keep plucking your skin, you're going to get a cut. That's just, it's common sense. But women being leaders is like trying to go to heaven on a motorbike. It's impossible. It's pretty much impossible. Because when women lead, that's why, come on, let's take a look at the alternative. Samson and Delilah, David and Bathsheba. They screw up things. Now, I'm not saying that they're not smart, but if God put you on this earth to serve a purpose, serve the purpose he gave you.
Yep.
Serve the purpose he gave you. There's no, well, you know what? I'm independent. I don't need no man. But that's the funny part about it. That's why women can't be leaders, because they, like you said, they pretty much talk themselves into a noose. How can you say you're independent? I don't need a man. I want a man. But at the same time, you want a man to say, marry me. You shouldn't need nobody. Let's just be honest about it. You shouldn't need nobody. So you shouldn't want to marry a man. Because now if you marry that man, now you what? You need him. Because that's your husband. You can't want your husband. You have to need your husband.
That's true.
You can't want him. Well, I just wanted to marry you. No. You marry somebody, that man, by law of God, that man had to take care of his wife.
Yeah.
That's God's law. But that's funny how people can check boxes on certain things that God's saying and not the whole thing. Just be honest about it, guys. Let's just be honest. But it's all. We can have this conversation for hours, and we'll go nowhere fast because always going to be somebody say, well, you know what? We don't say it like that. No, women can't be leaders. Women shouldn't want to be leaders. It's too much power. That's what he's supposed to do. Leadership takes sacrifice. That's true. What if we try to serve all purpose, but some men run from the responsibility of his own purpose? He can run all he wants. The title of a man is to lead. So that's just how it go. God didn't say, I put man over the household and over woman if he cooperate.
Right.
That's all he said.
Exactly.
That's it. I put you over this.
Yeah.
If you marry a sinner, guess what? You got to obey that
That's
sinner.
facts. That's facts.
If you marry a saint, you got to obey that saint. If you marry, it don't matter what they, because women always say that. Well, why would I give me something to submit to? He didn't say, woman, submit to your husband until he loses his job.
Right, real talk. Boy.
He didn't say that. He didn't say, woman, submit to your husband. If you find somebody else better, leave him. No. Once you sign that contract in God's eye, you got to do what he said.
How many times it said, till death do
Till death do
you
you part.
part?
Let's get right over
So that's why men can't, that's why women don't pursue men to get married. Men pursue women to get married because men are leaders.
Right.
Leaders, being submissive to women, men can't submit to women. But you hear a lot of people say that now because women want leadership. How would I look marrying you, but getting on my knee? No, you getting on your knee. You know, you're a woman, I'm the guy. It don't work like that. I have to marry you. Can't marry me. True, we marry each other.
Right.
But no, I have to come to you.
She takes your last name.
She take my last
you don't
name.
Take her.
So there you go. Perfectly said, Tony. So if you take my last name by law and by God's law and in God's eyes, you belong to me now. I'm not saying do everything I say. If I'm leading you in the path of righteousness, guess what? You got to be right behind me, telling everybody the same thing I said. Well, you know what? I might not agree with everything he say, but at some point in this conversation, the boy's telling the truth.
Look, now you got to bring the camera on me.
Bringing it back to Tony.
We're going right back to you, too, because I'm piggybacking off your point. Focus,
grasshopper. My sound man smoking.
My uncle said something that's real because I always say this, and this is why women just, they just won't get it, even though they can get it. It's super easy.
To me, people say all men aren't good leaders.
Look.
Go ahead.
She's literally walking into the door that I had open for her. So women, when they hear that, when they say stuff like that, and they once again, and that's why I'm saying this on camera, women's intuition is a joke. Because it's two things. Either it don't exist, and I'm bold enough to say it don't. Because guess what? Intuition is what both sexes, meaning God gives you that gut feeling, because men get that too. It ain't just women's intuition. Because when you say women's intuition, that implies that men don't have it. Yeah. It's people's intuition. Because men and women can get a good feeling or a gut feeling to not do something, and if they follow it, it was righteous that they followed it because something bad was happening. Just like if you ignore it, something bad is going to happen to you because you ignored your feeling. So it's not women's intuition. It's people's intuition. That's God talking to us. Don't go down here. Don't go do that. So going back to women's intuition, they kill me with that because if y'all have it, which I don't think y'all do, but if y'all do have it, either you have it and you ignore it, or you don't have it. And I'll say y'all don't have it, but even if y'all do have it, y'all blatantly ignore it. Y'all ignore all the signs. So now, going back to what Auntie was saying about a man, what she said, man, a lot of men, all men don't make good leaders. Right. Guess what, Auntie? You right. Mm-hmm. See, when we speak real, we honor the real. Mm-hmm. But the reason it's still your fault, meaning women, because women follow the guys that they know are knuckleheads. Mm. So when knuckleheads do knucklehead leadership, because, and it ain't them being leader, they just being a tyrant and just doing stupid stuff. Right. You run with that rather than getting with the good average guy that's on his program. Meaning, a guy, okay, right, because what women always say, well, give me something to submit to. Women will go to the biggest drug dealer in town and tell him to be a leader. Or not tell him, like if he do stuff on some, because he's a man of the streets, he's doing like bad things. Right. Women will follow that, then get with a guy that don't kill nobody, that don't do no drama, that don't do this, that don't do that. And he could be leading, but since his life is not exciting, they just like, oh, he born and he this. But it's like, no, that's the person you need to be with because you'll be alive. A, because Your man is out over here. He ain't got to walk to the stove to get a bag of chips and look over his shoulder because somebody want to kill him.
Less drama, too.
It's less drama. So I notice all the women that cry about that. This is why asking questions is important. When you talk to a woman and ask a woman three questions levels deep, and you find out the type of guy she's dealing with, you be like, well, there we go. You want leadership from a degenerate.
Yep.
They literally want leadership from a degenerate or try to follow the degenerate guy. So, of course, you're right that they're not good leaders. Exactly. So what does that say about you for following somebody that you know is not a good leader?
Blind leading the blind.
Yep.
And I just wanted to
So that's the problem.
my fault, Tony.
No, you
cut
good.
you off, man. I just wanted to say something too. Being a leader doesn't mean that you literally have to like lead other people and everything. It doesn't qualify in that sense. It also qualifies, can you conquer your fears, your inner fears? Can you conquer your inner insecurities? Can you conquer yourself? Because before you lead anybody else, you got to lead yourself.
Exactly.
You have to lead yourself, man. You can't come out here and have insecurities, have fears, have all these doubts, and expect people to follow you or expect everybody to do what you say and lead them, because it's gonna go awry. So being a leader doesn't mean conquering other people or like making the ultimate decision. It also means making the ultimate decision to yourself, to your
Family.
your decision, your mind, conquering your mind. Like I said, conquering your fears. So it don't just have to be. It doesn't always have to be like send soldiers over there across this ocean and stuff. It just be like, do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes to be a leader? Do you have the stomach what it takes to be a leader? Because being a leader ain't pretty. I'm gonna just tell y'all that right now.
It never is.
Y'all women think y'all, I want to lead, I want to be a boss. It's not pretty. It ain't pretty. Because with business, leading, I'm gonna just give it to you. With business is, we all know that business, they make good money. They make hell of a lot of money. But, and y'all should know this. Did you also know businesses lose a hell of a lot of money as well? Because to win some, you gotta lose some.
That's true.
To make money, you have to lose money.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with losing that money if you're a leader. Because why? You're looking at the bigger picture. Okay, we could lose. That's why the white people. That's why they always in the position of power. Yeah, we'll lose $5 million next week, but in 6 months we gonna make $27 million. So yeah, we could lose that. They have what it takes. They got what it takes, and they conquer their own fears and everything because they have it within them. And sadly, most women, y'all don't have it within y'all because y'all operate. I feel like I should do this. When it comes to leading, there is no feeling.
Katrina says some women can't be submissive. That's
Look,
true.
turn it back
There
around.
you
Turn
go.
it back around.
Brother, going to Brother Tony.
Go,
Katrina,
Tony.
Auntie, you said it, and that's what it all boiled down to. They can't be submissive. So guess what you just said, Auntie? You said what I said earlier. You can't lead somebody that don't want to follow you. Yeah. And if women don't want to follow you, how you gonna lead them? They have to be willing and compliant to follow you in order to lead them. Yeah. So if they're not submissive, you just leading yourself. You ain't leading no group.
Right.
You ain't leading a woman because the woman is not in the picture because she ran away. So you can't lead somebody that's not willing to follow. So that's what I'm saying. Like women do all this talking, but it's like y'all always talk about leaders, but y'all be the first to tell you that no man leads you, no man is over you. So if you say that, okay, even though that's crazy because you're going against the divine order. So, but if you want to rock out. But just stay there and don't contradict. Just say, okay, well, we don't got no man or whatever like that. We gonna ride with that. So whenever our tire go down, we gonna change it. The WNBA, we don't need males to be there. We don't need men to buy tickets because since there's way more women on earth, we'll buy the tickets and support women's basketball. We'll support women's this. We support women that. Anything that's involved with a man directly or indirectly, we don't want nothing to do with it because we don't need them. Do you know I would respect y'all gangster if y'all did that? But y'all don't do that. Y'all will talk all this stuff, but then when you look behind the curtains and peel three layers back, it's a man back there making it happen. But y'all just went on this rampage about how man ain't this and man ain't that, but you still need men to some degree to help you on some type of way. You need a man to help you to some degree. It's always a man in the background somewhere. Even if the woman is in the forefront, it's a man somewhere in the background, blurred out in the background. When you watch movies and you got the two main characters and the background is blurry, that be the man in the background that you're not paying attention to because the focus is on the woman.
Right.
The camera is on the woman, but it's man in the background making stuff happen.
Exactly.
That's true.
So you either gonna be independent or just be like, you know what, let's just get off of this high horse because and say we need each other. But they don't want to do that. No, we don't need y'all. But then when something go down, you need a man to get you out of it. Yeah. Make it make sense.
And it really
make it make sense because it don't make sense.
It really all boils down to being picky with the people you decide to have a relationship with. And it's like I've been saying in other podcast episodes, it's like y'all picky about the guys y'all want to go on a date with, even though you're not even going to be you don't even know if you're going to be in a relationship with this person, but you could at least go on a date with this person to see how his personality is. And that's crazy because a lot of women sit there and say, the first thing they notice is the personality of a man and stuff like that. But you don't even take the time to get to know the person because you sitting there judging them off off a few things he might have said and be like, he turned me off, I'm done. But
or if he a broke nigga.
Oh yeah, or if he broke and stuff like that.
Or the signs don't match.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God,
that zodiac stuff. Oh my God. But yeah, it boils down to that. Like y'all need to be picky about what type of person you want in your life. A lot of y'all be wanting. I'm not saying all women, but some women be wanting scammers and drug dealers and high value men and stuff like that. And you have to understand not everybody plays in that field. And the same thing goes for men. We understand we don't play in a certain field of type of caliber of a woman that we want to get.
Exactly.
But we understand how to we understand that we can we'll take what we can get. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to be picky enough to understand, okay, what type of guy do I qualify for and is he a healthy person to be in my life? So a lot of times y'all sit there and talk stuff about these men being toxic and stuff like that, but at the same time you sit here and choose them. And there's a lot of untoxic people out there, but it's like Tony been saying, y'all saying some people are boring. So now you go to all that nonsense and the drama is that now you sit here complaining about all men and it's like you ain't even gave all men a chance. You get what I'm saying? So and like I think we had an episode a while back about dating and stuff like that, and I sat there and said that y'all need to be more open to the type of dates y'all go on. Don't just go with a certain type of dude all the time. Dating is about trying different people and seeing, okay, I like this, or I don't like that, let me step away from this. Don't be afraid to do that. True. So y'all kind of shoot yourself in the foot all the time when it comes to this type of stuff. Just be open to who y'all going to date with. You may not like them at the first thing, but I think with women, y'all have a more capability of growing to like somebody than men do. And like we fall in love with the the fascination of how women look and stuff like that. So sometimes we not willing. We're willing to go down on looks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm like we definitely. Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that y'all have more willingness to look past certain things, as we can see with some of the bad choices y'all pick. So it's like, okay, don't laugh at me. Y'all have a more willingness to look past certain things, so you need to be able to do that with other attributes that men might have. You know what I'm saying? So learn how to control that nature within yourself too, because that's a good nature that y'all have. But y'all use it with the wrong type of men. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Man, and I just want to add one more thing with the leader stuff. There's nothing wrong. This is why most women can't be leaders, in my opinion, because there's nothing wrong with taking other people's opinion into consideration. Exactly. They won't do that. They'll be like, I'm the leader, shut up. This is my decision. Where you could just listen to other people's intake. Well, maybe you should do this. Then it's up to you to make the final decision. Like, okay, I hear you out, but I think we should go this route. Rather than just, nope, I don't want to hear you. No, I don't. Nope. That's what makes a leader, in my opinion. And I'm not saying I'm not a leader. I'm not saying that. I'm fit to be. I'm not saying that stuff. But I'm just giving my 2 cents in or why most women can't be leaders. They're not fit to be leaders because they don't have what it takes to make that decision. They don't have what it takes to sacrifice, man. They don't, especially the modern women. They don't have what it takes.
So that's true. So in closing, what Tony was saying, actually I just forgot what Tony was saying. Actually I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that's crazy. But well yeah. All men I can kind of agree what Peekaboo said. All men aren't leaders.
Oh no.
That's true.
That's true.
That's
but
absolutely true.
all men turn to be leaders once you marry them. Mm-hmm. He's the head of the house now.
Exactly.
Regardless what the kids say, regardless what the wife say, regardless what the friends say. If you get that ring and that's the priest or whoever married you say, I pronounce you man and wife, husband and wife, you never hear them say, I pronounce you wife and husband, do you?
Exactly.
No, you don't. Exactly. That's putting the man first. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Mm-hmm. Now you belong to that guy. I don't care, and I'm not talking about like belong to him like slavery wise. Well, I'm not property. No, I'm not saying property. But if people say, well, he's not a leader, and you marry him, you just married your leader.
Yeah,
Whether you like it or not. He's the leader now. He's the head of the house. He's the head honcho.
Yep, he took his last
Nobody goes above your husband. Nobody unless it's God or Jesus.
Fact.
That's it.
That's it.
Your friend, your mama, your daddy.
Yep, that's true.
Because a lot of people run to their mamas for help. No, once you marry a man, and that's you can look at it in the Bible.
Yeah.
Your mom and daddy, you got to cut them off now.
Yeah, you got to cleave to your husband.
You got to cleave to your husband.
Yep, that's true.
Cleave to your husband, cleave to your wife.
That's fact.
That's it. Ain't no running and talking to your friends about y'all problems. No, you sit him down, he sit you down. Y'all figure it out till you get it right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Because, like I always say, and I really like when I say this because every time I say it, it proves my point. A little lever levers the whole lump. Okay? That's why wives and their best friends start messing around with the husband because the wives talk too much. There you go. All you doing is giving her information and ammo to get you out the picture. And then when it happens, the only thing she's going to say, you know what? You shouldn't have said it anyway. Then what you going to do? Oh, I trusted you. She was a friend. Remember the song? She was a friend of mine. She slept with my man. Nobody's your friend when you're married. Nobody. Because somebody's going to always want what you got. That's in the world if you ain't married.
Right.
So what makes you think it's going to change if you're married? That's why when you're married, you take those vows before God. God's the only one that hold marriage together. It's not psychics. It's not shrinks. It's not brothers. It's not sisters. It's not mom or dad. It's not friends. If God's not in that marriage, believe me, it can be 6 months or 6 years or 10 years, you're going to fall. Because we're only human. And remember what he said. Lust is what? Never fulfilled. Never. If it wasn't for him, everybody would be out there cheating. What, man, you think? Because men don't care about, that's my wife. Women don't care about, that's my husband. That's God in them.
Yeah.
You know, oh no, I can't do that to my husband. Or I can't do that to my wife. But you got a lot of people running around trying to play the leader role that don't supposed to be leaders.
Yep.
That's why when you get married, you take his last name. He don't take yours. That means that man is over you now. Head of the household means whatever under that roof, it belongs to him. Kids, wife, dog, cat, and everything. So until women can realize that, we're gonna forever be lost because it's gonna always be a battle. Now you can't lead me, but why would you want to marry somebody that you don't want them to be? Why would you marry somebody that you don't want to be a leader of? You know what I'm saying? Why? Oh, we just husband and wife. We like this. No, that can never be in marriage. It can never, and I want to be very, very clear about this. It can never be 50-50. Exactly. When you're in a role, there's always somebody higher. The dope game, somebody's hiding a boy in the street selling crack, ain't it? Your job, you got a manager, you got a supervisor, you got a boss. Okay? Marriage, husband, wife, it's not equal. So that Steve Harvey stuff, that's why a lot of women like Steve Harvey, because he feeds them what they want to hear. That's with anybody. If a man got up on stage and said, well, you know what, women, relationships is the men got to buy suits and stuff, and the men gonna like him too, because we're feeding the ammunition to what? Make ourselves be better than what we are. Right. So, but just to be honest, I wouldn't take advice from Steve Harvey anyway. We all know how Steve Harvey is. Now, I'm not knocking the brother for making money, because I think if you're a black man, if they give it to you, go for it in a respectful way. So, women got to know their roles. Men got to know their roles. God called man to be leaders. He didn't say, men, all right, this is 2023 coming up. Y'all got to step down. I'm finna make the leaders a role, because God don't go back on his word. Once he set it in motion, it's there forever. Yeah. So we got to look at, why did he make man the leader? But it's weird, because it's like everything God say, most women flip it and say, no, it's what I say. Exactly. God make man the leader. But guess what? Years later, what happened? Scientists flip the role and say women mature faster than men. Yeah, and how can that be possible when God made you the leader? Think about it, man. Think about it. It's impossible. That's crazy. Well, women mature faster than men do. No, they don't. No.
No.
They just don't. And it's not a stab at women. You just have to know your place in your role. That's all it is.
Exactly. I gotta add to that, Pico.
Go ahead, Tone.
Everything
And after that, you can just close it out.
Yeah. So when I going back to what
Cameraman tripping again.
what Tamisa Pickable was saying earlier about every man don't make a good leader, and even though I already answered that, now I'm gonna answer it again, even more in depth. You ever seen the movie 300? The movie Troy?
Oh yeah.
Kings in the Kingdom. Dude, you know in that king.
She said, well, Pickable, you got to be careful with what you say, sweetie.
What'd she say?
She said, if God said men are leaders, why aren't they standing on being such? You can't question what God do.
Wait, what does she mean standing on? Oh, being such leaders.
Yeah.
Like, okay, look, so this, like I said, it's going back to what I was saying. That's why I love what you said, Pico, when you was like, when you decide to marry that man, you taking on his last name, so he is your leader. But see, y'all think just because, and that's why I always use generality. Y'all was, generality, yeah, because that's what matter. That literally finna go into my point before she said that. The movie 300, Troy, any war movie, even in the Bible, hell, even today with corporations and major buildings, do you know if the leader is a man and he runs like a cabinet or whatever of like, let's just say it's five business women, 7 businessmen, but it's a man leading over all of them. Look at the logic in this. It's not a man leading over all women. It's men in that audience too. Meaning, every man can be a leader. Right. So when she said that earlier, it's like, I'm not trying to be funny. It's kind of like a duh. Because in the kingdom, you have women and men in the kingdom, which are either peasants or citizens of that kingdom. Exactly. And then you have a king. So even the man be like, King, sorry, can I get food today? Oh no, you stole, cut his hand off. That's a man answering to another man. Right. So the fact that y'all say every man ain't a leader, every man can't be a leader. But that's why generalities is important, because men in general are meant to lead. Right. Not every single man in the world is meant to lead.